Today, let's delve into the stories of the 4 fallen angels mentioned in the Bible. These beings, originally created by God to serve and glorify Him, chose to rebel and were consequently expelled from heaven. Who are these angels? What led them to their downfall? And what roles do they play in the divine narrative? Join us on this exploration of the world of fallen angels. Angels, according to the Bible, are spiritual beings created by God before the world and humanity. They serve various roles such as messengers, protectors, and warriors, always worshiping and praising God. Among these angels were the archangels, who were distinguished by their beauty, power, and wisdom. However, not all angels remained loyal. Some, driven by pride, envy, or ambition, challenged God's authority. These are the fallen angels, who abandoned the light and embraced darkness. The Bible specifically names 4 notable fallen angels: Lucifer, Semyaza, Azazel, and Beelzebub. Lucifer, the most famous, was once a beautiful and powerful archangel, close to God. Dissatisfied, he sought to elevate himself above God, as described in Isaiah 14 verses 13 to 14. His rebellion led to a celestial war, where Archangel Michael and his followers fought Lucifer and his allies, ultimately casting them out of heaven. Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9. Lucifer, now known as Satan, continually seeks to lead humanity astray. John 8 verses 44 and 2 Corinthians 4:4, 1 Peter 5 verse 8. Semyaza, another fallen angel, led a group known as the Watchers, as described in the book of Enoch. These angels, sent to oversee and guide humanity, fell in love with human women and violated divine law by taking them as wives. Semyaza, fearing the consequences, convinced the Watchers to join him in this transgression, swearing an oath to share the blame equally. This story, while not part of the canonical Bible, is referenced in biblical texts and adds depth to the narrative of heavenly rebellion. The fallen angels, now demons, continue to oppose God's will, illustrating the eternal struggle between good and evil. Imagine a group of 200 angels who planned and swore together to descend upon Mount Hermon, known as Ardis. These angels, led by Semyaza, took human wives and shared forbidden knowledge with them and their children. This knowledge included astrology, magic, and the creation of weapons and jewelry. However, this wisdom was misused, leading to widespread violence and corruption on earth. The offspring of these unions became the Nephilim, giant beings who caused chaos by devouring men, animals, and even each other. The book of Enoch describes how these giants consumed the work of men until humanity could no longer sustain them, and they began to sin against all forms of life. Enoch 6 verses 1 to 6 and Enoch 7 verses 3 to 6. Seeing the wickedness of both humans and fallen angels, God regretted creating them and decided to send a universal flood to cleanse the earth, sparing only Noah and his family, who remained righteous. God commanded Uriel to warn Noah of the coming flood, and to preserve his family for future generations. The fallen angels, including Semyaza, were bound and cast into a dark abyss to await final judgment. The Lord sent Raphael to imprison Azazel, another fallen angel, who had taught humanity the art of war and vanity. God healed the earth, promising not to destroy all flesh by flood again. The fallen angels' children, the Nephilim, were annihilated by the flood. Yet some spirits survived to roam the world, corrupting souls. Enoch 10 verse 1 to 14. Thus, Semyaza and the Watchers were condemned, and their legacies of evil spirits continued to influence humanity. The book of Enoch gives a vivid account of Azazel, a fallen angel who taught humans the art of making weapons and jewelry, leading to widespread corruption and immorality. Azazel introduced the use of metals, dyes, and cosmetics, which led people astray into sinful ways. Consequently, God punished Azazel for his influence on humanity's descent into wickedness. He commanded the archangel Raphael to bind Azazel and imprison him in the desert, where he would remain in darkness until the day of judgment. On that day, Azazel will be cast into the fire as a final punishment for his deeds. Enoch 8 verses 1-3 and Enoch 10 verses 4-6. The Bible also references Azazel in the book of Leviticus during the Day of Atonement rituals. On this sacred day, the high priest took 2 goats, one for the Lord, which was sacrificed as a sin offering, and another for Azazel, symbolically bearing the sins of the Israelites into the wilderness. The priest laid his hands on the goat's head, confessing all the people's sins, and sent it into the desert where Azazel resided. Leviticus 16 verses 7-10. This ritual underscored the distinction between the holy and the profane, with some interpretations viewing Azazel as a fallen angel symbolizing sin and opposition to God, while others see Azazel as a location in the desert. Beelzebub, another significant fallen angel, is surrounded by mystery and malevolence. Known as the Lord of the Flies, he was considered the vilest of angels. According to Jewish tradition, Beelzebub was worshipped by the Philistines, enemies of Israel, who believed he had the power to inflict or heal plagues. The Bible recounts how the ark of the God of Israel brought devastation to the Philistine cities that housed it, causing widespread panic and disease. The Philistines eventually decided to return the ark to Israel, hoping to stop the divine afflictions. This narrative highlights the power and wrath of the God of Israel against those who opposed him. 1 Samuel 5 verses 1-12. Have you ever wondered how the Philistines dealt with the ark of God and what it meant for their fate? According to 1 Samuel 5 verses 6-9 and 1 Samuel 6 verses 2-6, when the Philistines captured the ark of God, they were plagued by tumors and mice. To appease God, they decided to return the ark to Israel with offerings of golden tumors and mice. They believed that if the ark traveled back to Beth Shemesh on its own, it was a sign that God had indeed brought these calamities upon them. If not, they would consider it a mere coincidence. Despite their efforts, God did not accept their offerings, and their suffering continued. This story highlights the Philistines' recognition of God's power and their attempts to seek relief from divine wrath. In the New Testament, we encounter a different story involving Jesus and accusations from the Pharisees. As recorded in Matthew 12 verses 22-28, the Pharisees accused Jesus of casting out demons by the power of Beelzebub, the prince of demons. However, Jesus refuted their claims, asserting that he expelled demons by the Spirit of God, which signified the arrival of God's kingdom. He explained that a kingdom divided against itself could not stand, emphasizing the absurdity of Satan casting out his own demons. This exchange underscores the tension between Jesus and the religious leaders and highlights his divine authority. Beelzebub, mentioned here, is depicted as a fallen angel associated with impurity and idolatry, destined for ultimate defeat and eternal punishment, as described in Revelation 20 verses 1-10. These passages together illustrate the overarching theme of divine justice and the eventual triumph of God's kingdom.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.